Hello and welcome back to Let's Talk About Ghosts, where we are going to talk about ghosts. So today we are discussing a new web series that we just recently discovered on YouTube, and it heads up by Katrina Weidman, who is very well known in the paranormal community. She's been around for a long time and got her start way back in the day on Paranormal State, which was one of the first couple of ghost hunting paranormal programs out there way back.
Yes.
It was, I think they were only half-hour episodes at the time. I don't think they were hour long. Anyway, they were very well done, but it was almost always demons and scary stuff.
Yeah.
Which was a little bit different from Ghost Hunters, which came out just a little bit before that.
But they didn't believe in anything.
Ghost Hunters?
Ghost Hunters.
Well, no, their big thing was they wanted to make sure everything was debunked.
No, because they didn't believe in anything. You can't call yourself a ghost hunter and not believe in ghosts.
Well, we'll talk about them another day. Because I know you have strong opinions, obviously. Anyway, we are going to talk this new web series, and the first issue I have with it is called Travel the Dead, which I think is the most ridiculous name for
anything.
A program that I don't know. I mean, I think it's just they needed something about the dead in it, and they're going to be traveling, so it's Travel the Dead. But I'd like to know how you actually travel dead people, because you don't travel dead. So I thought that the name sucks. But that being said, we decided to take a look, and so we started watching the first few episodes.
5 episodes.
Yeah, because the first investigation is in 5 parts. Now, to be fair, the 5 parts aren't too bad. They're about 10 minutes an episode. They're not that bad. Anyway, so the main cast is Katrina Weidman and her friend Heather Taddy, whom she met a long time ago when they were both at Paranormal State.
Yes.
So I hadn't really seen anything that Heather Taddy had done since that time, so it was kind of interesting to see her all grown up. I didn't even recognize her at first until I saw a picture of her from college, and then I recognized her face. Yeah. Anyway, so their very first episode, they are going to White Hill Mansion in Fieldsboro, New Jersey. Now, this house has a very classic haunted house look, so it just looks the part. Katrina was last there in 2017 when she investigated it with Nick Groff for Paranormal Lockdown.
Yes.
So the very first episode, the first 10-minute long episode, and I was hoping that this part would get better as the episodes went on. But there's no intro. There's no, splash page with the name of the program.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. It just goes straight into
a commercial.
There's a lot of commercials in these things. I swear to God, every 3 minutes we were getting a little Debbie and a Jenny Craig commercial.
Yeah.
And just over and over and over. And if I ate the little bites as many as the commercials came up, we would need Jenny Craig, because holy God, every 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And that leads me to think that they don't have any real funding for this. She's funding it all herself, which fine. But the funding is coming through all the ads.
Yeah.
There's so many ads. Oh, God, it's awful. Like, you just start to get into it, and then you break for another commercial. It's like very jarring. Yeah. Very jarring. Yeah. Anyway, so in the first 10-minute episode, Katrina returns to this site to just kind of do the pre-investigation walkthrough. These are the kind of things that we do when we're going to go to an investigation too. So it's good to go see something in the daylight before you start looking at it at night. The investigation itself, I didn't think was too bad.
It was good.
It was different, a different angle on things, because here now we have Katrina being the star.
Yeah.
Because she's producing it, so of course. And her friend, they did try to split the time equally. one of the things I disliked was the amount of subtitles.
Yes.
Just because they're speaking doesn't mean we need a subtitle to say Katrina is saying this or Heather is saying this, because we can hear that.
Yeah.
I just found that distracting.
Yes.
Very distracting. I'm hoping as the web series evolves, maybe they'll stop doing that. Perhaps maybe they'll get some reviews from the viewers who'll say, please don't do this anymore.
Not so many commercials.
No. Yeah, please slow down on the commercials. And, I really wouldn't have a problem if there was like one in the beginning, one in the middle, one in the end. Yeah. But they don't do that. Seriously, every 3 minutes, we were timing them. By the time we got to the 5th episode, we were actually literally watching our watch for, okay, there's a commercial coming up now. And sure enough, boom, commercial. So it was very jarring. Investigation itself was pretty good. They do have another friend who's like their main camera person. So you see these 3 women doing the investigations. And for the most part, yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. The thing that truly amazes me is she is still convinced that things only happen at night.
Yeah, I don't understand. And that's not just her. There's a lot of investigators that seem to think you only want to investigate at night.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
I know the reason why we prefer night, because of shadows and, and noise.
Yeah, at night you have less outside distractions, and you're not going to have shadows from the sun or whatever blocking things.
But ghosts are still around in the daytime.
Yes. Just sometimes more in the daytime.
Yes.
It just depends on what they were doing in their life.
I see my neighbor every day, and it's broad daylight, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I found sometimes that it's a bit odd when you hear them saying, oh, well, I can't believe we're getting this activity in the daytime. Yeah. Well, duh. You're going to. It's not just haunted at night. Yes. It's not just haunted at night.
Ghosts don't have a time clock and time to go to work.
Yes, time to go to work. All right, we got people to haunt. Come on. Yeah. So, so it is, it's an interesting bit to watch. And I think I will watch more just to
watch it.
To see how maybe the show evolves over time. Yeah. I mean, it's not the most
glamorous.
No, it's not. But it's not bad either. The transitions from scene to scene are fairly smooth.
Yeah.
The editing is pretty decent.
Yeah.
So I don't know who she's got, if she's editing herself or hired people to edit. I don't know. Yeah. But it's done very well. The camera work is good.
Yeah.
And of course, her and Heather have their own little handheld little camera jobbies that they move around with. So one of the things that I liked was they both broke off to have their own individual solo investigations. So, one person would wait outside in the vehicle or wherever they were, and one person would go into this big scary house all by themselves. But I think the camera person was there too.
Yes.
So they're not really alone. I am a huge proponent for not investigating alone. I think it's incredibly dangerous. Not just because you might come up against a scary ghost, but because there are environmental things that you can hurt yourself. In some of these old abandoned places, you don't know if the floors are stable and you're going to fall through to the basement and, get impaled on something. And if you're by yourself, who's going to know? Who's going to help you? Yeah. So I just think it's very unsafe to go by yourself. And didn't they not have walkies? No, Katrina's walkie was off while Heather was inside and vice versa. Well, that's just not safe either. How can you call for help? Yeah. If you're by yourself, your partner's outside, okay, but at least have the ability to call for help. Yeah. I just think that's incredibly wrong.
Heather's...
it kept glitching.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Yeah, that was interesting, why it kept...
Yeah. Click, click, click.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, I have this real thing.
Well, you don't like that to begin with.
I don't like what?
Being alone.
No, I think it's unsafe. I think it's dangerous. So yeah, it was good. There's one review that I found said, this episode was a strong start to Travel the Dead, which again is stupid. It felt more like a road trip and had a bit more character, personality, and fun moments. Nah. Than many of the other ghost hunting shows you'll find on television. I get the feeling this piece that we were reading was a paid advertisement, because I didn't think any of those things. I didn't think it had more character, more personality, or fun moments. I thought it was pretty similar to the other shows out there.
Yeah.
This one was just different people, and you get to see people investigating in a different way. Yeah. Although the way that Katrina investigates is like every other people that she's worked with, using the Geoport, which she was introduced to with Nick Groff.
Yes.
And then they used it for Portals to Hell. Yeah. So she's, one of those things that she's got.
You can't not.
Well, you're going to pick up stuff as you evolve and learn. But for this article to say that it's got more character, no, I don't think so. No. It doesn't have more character at all. It's just different characters. Yeah. Because Heather's not been around now since Paranormal State, as far as I can tell. Yeah. Which was interesting. It was really...
It was nice to see her.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And the camera person, her name was Kat something or other. Yeah. I don't know who that is. She's just a camera person.
Well, this is the thing when you don't introduce...
Yeah, that's right. There was no introductions of who they were.
And all through, I was hoping...
maybe the end there'd be some credits rolling?
And no.
No, not a thing. Not a thing, So hopefully some of those things will change. Yeah. But...
you got to say you're working with, somebody else. And, even Rob on the other show.
Rob? Oh, from Paranormal Lockdown, the cameraman. Yeah.
You've seen him. This Cat person, you never see her.
Not till episode 5.
Yeah.
Yep. Then you actually saw her in front of the camera for a bit.
For a second.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's got huge potential.
Yes.
Huge potential, but it's definitely got some growing pains.
Because she's a good investigator.
She is a very good investigator.
She knows her stuff. Let's hope that...
It's just, I wish that I could see her on a bigger screen with... I would love to see another season of Portals to Hell. That was so good.
Yeah.
And
Jack had her.
I really liked how they worked together. Yeah. They worked very well together. And I just don't see any more of those, though. I don't know what's happened there.
So Katrina could let us know?
Apparently, she just bites off her partners, chews them up, and spits them out because she's going through them like flies. I don't know. I guess if stuff isn't picked up and, seasons aren't renewed. But I can't see why Portals to Hell wouldn't have been renewed because it was really popular.
Yeah.
Really popular. Yeah. So that is our take on Travel the Dead with Katrina Weidman and Heather Taddy. But you will find it on Katrina Weidman's YouTube channel. And you can subscribe to it and be able to see all the new episodes. I believe there's another new set, which we haven't watched yet, but we're going to sometime in the next little bit. And again, they're short little bite-sized pieces. So if you only have time for 10 minutes, then you only have to watch one episode, and you can pick up the next one the next time you got 10 minutes to watch. Yeah. And that's kind of nice.
Yeah, it is. Short and sweet.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to do that way. But if you're like us, where we want to watch the whole thing, then you've got to sit through mounds of ads, mounds of Jenny Craig, and little bites. I was so hungry by the time I got finished. But it was good. When you put it all together, finally, it was good. I think it just is going to be one of those works in progress things that will get better as time goes on, and I look forward to watching that.
Yeah, me too.
And that today is our ghost story for the day. Stay tuned. We've got some more stuff coming up in the coming days, weeks, months. Have a good day. Happy haunting.
Happy hunting.